What's up, guys? It's Wolfgang back with another Dorkfish review, and today we've got the Mezco 112 Nightwing. Guys, let's get into it. Created in 1940 as the companion to Batman in his war against crime, Dick Grayson was introduced as Robin and later would go on to leave, creating his own persona, taking on the leadership of the Teen Titans, and becoming Nightwing. Quick summary of who he is and what he does. We're not going to go deep into it because you probably already know all you need to about him. But what you're here to find out is how is this figure? And that's what we're going to talk about, as always, starting with the box and accessories. And here's the box. Front of the package right here, you've got Nightwing, nice art. Kind of disappointed it doesn't match the figure, or the figure doesn't match the art though. That's more of a traditional comic style, whereas the figure we get inside the package is more of a Mezco style. But you've got the name on the side, same art on the back, name on the side, name on the front. Nothing different about the box. It is what it is. That being said, let's get into the accessories. Alright, and this guy has 3 different trays with accessories. The bottom one has his normal stand, the bag, and the stand piece to get him moving. That tray also as well holds the lightning effects that come for his batons. So, and they're nicely done. They're fairly malleable. We've got 4 different ones. This longer one right here looks really good. You've got these 2 smaller ones, and they are nicely done. Really well done on those. The middle tray has some of those other really cool accessories, like his grappling hooks. He's got 2 of them. One is the cloth string, so you can have him holding his grappling hook. The next one is bendy wire, so that way you can flex it, pose it, as if he's swinging or moving from areas or up to an area. He has a few different of his Nightwing batarangs, which are pretty well done. Yeah. Then you have this right here, this little launcher piece that pegs onto his right wrist. You get 2 of these. You get 3 of the batarangs. And then you get his batons. And his batons all have interconnecting parts. So you've got this piece which can extend the batons. He's got 2 of the batons on them. The others are all the same, so I'll just show you these. And I think it is very well done. That blue in there is very nice. And they've got portholes, except for that. Some of them have them at the head. So 2 of the batons have them towards the head. And then 2 of the batons have them towards the butt on mine. So the butt baton right there, where you can peg and extend. Same with those on his back. And then he also has this accessory, which pegs onto his belt from this portion down. I'm not going to do it because it's a pain to hold, but it pegs onto his belt, straps around his leg, and that becomes a baton holster for his leg. And then these accessories are pretty sick. You get 2 of these, and it's the twirling baton effect, which sits perfectly in different hands he has and looks amazing. And it's a plexi plastic, so they did a really good job with painting it and making it something where you could bend it and move it as needed to the hands to hold it and it not be brittle or break. So great job there. And that's the second tray. The third tray has his hands and other heads. So he comes with the head sculpt you see on him and the hands on him in package. And then he also comes with 3 other heads, a unmasked neutral head. Good job with the sculpt on the hair. This smirking head here. Paint is done well enough, looks good. And then you've got this head here. Now I gotta be honest, the heads are sculpted great, but the two smirking heads almost to me come off villain-like. Like, I don't get a hero pose from this. Maybe I would prefer like a yelling or screaming head from him, or one where his hair is actually whipping around to look like he's moving like he would in the comics. But to be frankly honest, I'm not 100% with the head sculpts we got. The one that's on him now, and then the maskless head, I like a lot. The other two are not, for me, they're not as good. Now his hands. Obviously he has the gripping hands that you have, or the punching hands you have on him. He also has his gripping or batarang throwing hands. These more stylized hands, leaping, catching fists. Another punching hand, but this has accessories on it, so it has the taser gauntlets on them, which are pretty cool. A more tighter gripping hand, and this is for the batons. He's got a little more of a wide pose hand here, but the way it's set, if you look at the fingers, that twirling effect, which I'll place in here, sits in it pretty good, so it can hold it pretty well. He has a few other stylized hands. He comes with a lot of hands. He's got these gas bomb throwing hands, which look fantastic. He's got one that's a little shorter range, a little more in unison. He's got, for both right and left, these batarang style, or his version of batarang. I don't know what they're called other than batarangs for him. For right and left, he's got a single-handed one, which you could also use as like a lockpick for photography. He's got this hand, which is holding gas bombs in it. That's a cool shot to do too. And then he's got one other stylized right hand, which is more of a clinching hand, grabbing onto a roof, or a karate or combat hand. And then there's a little more on him. So, moving around right quick. On the wrist, this pegs out. You can see now you can put that other item in there we talked about, and it ports in and out pretty good. This part of the belt right here, that pops off, and that's where the strap will sit for that leg. It only is on this side. And, oop, there it went. Yeah, I don't think you can pop off this side. I think it's only that side. And then to hold his batons is this on the back, which is very loose and pliable rubber. So you can just pull that, no problem, and pop them right in. So that is all of, and I'll take these out for the next part. That is all of his accessories. He comes with a lot, and I like most of everything he comes with. I don't really know that there's much more actually I can think of that he should come with. I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, accessories are fantastic. Now let's get into the aesthetic. And aesthetically, I think this is an amazing looking figure. He poses well enough. There's some things I wish he would do a little differently, but he looks phenomenal, especially under this light. I like the way that they did the musculature on the suit, and they even did it on the back. There's some around the legs, but mostly on the front and the back. They did a great job with that. The armor pieces look really, really good. The chest armor piece looks amazing. Mask is fine. I like the boot choice. I don't know about the knee pads personally. I think the knee pads probably should have been attached to the shins in some way. The floating knee pads are a little weird to me. But otherwise, the belt looks good. Something that's interesting is if you get them up close, you can look and see on the armor, there's rivets. Ooh. Aesthetically, I think for the most part, he is pretty well done. The sculpts are good. The suit looks amazing. The accessories all look fantastic. I would say that's all a win. My biggest concern is going to be the kind of suit it is, actually. The texture and the fabric itself, I don't know how it will hold up over time. I know it'll leave some creasing in certain areas, like in the shoulder areas there, in the elbow areas and the knee areas. You're going to leave creasing in the suits when you pose them. So that's just the nature of that kind of fabric, so just be warned about that. But otherwise, I think aesthetically, he looks fantastic. So it's definitely a win there. Now that being said, let's see how he articulates. All right, and for articulation, his head is on a double ball joint, typical of Mezco when the neck's not connected. So he can look up about that far, look down with the neck joint about that far. Neck joint gives him a little extra tilt. Turn just fine. Boom. Shoulders only go up about that far. This belt, by the way, pegs in the back, and the peg comes out easy on mine. Just something to think about. So shoulders come up to about there. Kind of wish they'd come up a little higher. I actually wish they would have done a ball joint in here, a shoulder joint, because there's no movement in the shoulder at all. So you can't really do any crossover or forward throwing or rowing. But his shoulder goes up about that high with this outfit, back about that far. So not horrible range. Bicep swivel is in there. Just gonna bend this to get a little more room. Moves well enough. Feels like actually there might, oh, there is a little bit of rolling. I apologize. There's a small, very small rocker in there, but it really doesn't do anything. Double jointed elbow gets you a little better than 90 on that. You've got your gauntlet movement as well as your regular pin and hinge for Mezco, right? Now, torso. You've got your upper and your lower torso. This fabric restricts, so just putting it all together, that's about your forward. It's about your back on him. You can get a little bit of turn. You're gonna pop that belt every time though, right? So splits, pretty close. Kick up, about that far. Knee joint bend, really good. You've got a boot in there. You've got obviously a thigh swivel. And then you've got your ankle, which I'll bring in. Try to swivel that far up. There's your rocker on it. So not the biggest or best ankle. Sorry, just had to fix the belt. Ultimately, he is not the most articulated figure. A lot of his limitations are down to the kind of material the suit is made out of. It doesn't give it as much room to breathe or stretch. It looks amazing, but it will take away from the articulation. That just is what it is. So that's your trade-off there. I would have been okay if they had gone more of a cloth jumpsuit. I love the look of it, but I'm not sold on this because, again, I don't know how long this material is going to last. I just hope it doesn't shred or tear up over time. Take care of it, right? But we'll see, right? So that being said, let's get into size comparison. And here he is next to the Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman, as well as the McFarlane Build-A-Figure Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin. I actually don't mind the scaling. I think he looks pretty good next to both of them. I will say in the comics, Nightwing is supposed to be the same size as Batman. That is because he is the next generation Batman. In the comics, in different versions, he puts on the suit, and they always fit him. He never has to have them retailored, unlike the other Robins. So I do feel like this Robin could be a touch bulkier, just to match that. Height-wise, I think he's good, but he could just be a touch bulkier. That's all from me. Here he is next to a Super 7 2003 Ninja Turtle, Leonardo, and a Marvel Legends Kurt, aka Nightcrawler. I think they look pretty good here all in all. I'm pretty happy with the scaling on that. And for fun, here he is next to my custom Nightwing and my custom Red Hood. And I do like the way he slots in with the Red Hood. I think they fit very well together. He will be replacing my custom Nightwing, although I'll hold on to that one and just keep him on a different shelf. I like the coloring and the suit design on that one too. But this is what he looks like next to a couple of other Mezco bodies. And there you have it, guys. That is the Mezco 112 scale Nightwing. Overall, I'm super happy with them. I think that there's some minor things, him being a little bit bulkier, maybe a different kind of suit or a different way of doing the suit, just to give him better mobility in certain ways, I think would have been nicer. But he looks fantastic. He does well enough. His accessories are great. I love his accessories. So they did a really good job in that regard. A couple of heads that I'm not smitten with, but there are two really good heads in there for me. So overall, I think it's worth it. Now, if you want to pick yours up, you're going to need to go to somewhere killer. And if you happen to be in the Hiram area, you should go to Killer Finds in Hiram, Georgia, because that's where I got mine, and that's where you can get yours. But hurry, because these things are going to move fast. Check them out. They do all sorts of stuff, from figures like Mezco, Hot Toys, and anything else you can imagine, to records, TCGs, apparel, comics, anything you can think of. They got it there. So check them out. Guys, check this figure out. Thank you for watching the video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please check out the other ones I have on my channel. Like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Who is your favorite Robin? That being said, review's coming to an end. Thank you for watching again, guys. Wolfgang's out. Later, guys.